Officer Mia Roberts had always been proud of her work. She loved serving the city and helping people. Every day she put on her uniform, polished her badge, and prepared for whatever challenges might come. But her most important partner was not another officer. It was Rex, her loyal police dog. Rex was a German shepherd, strong, intelligent, and incredibly devoted. From the moment Mia rescued him as a pup, the two had shared an unbreakable bond. They understood each other without words, anticipating each other's thoughts and trusting each other completely. On a bright Wednesday morning, Mia and Rex were on patrol through the busy streets of the city. Cars honked, people hurried along sidewalks, and the usual noise of life filled the air. Mia's heart was calm, but her mind was alert. She knew that the city could be unpredictable, and every day could bring something unexpected. Rex walked beside her, his ears perked, eyes scanning the streets as if he could see danger before it arrived. Mia smiled at him and whispered, "Ready for another day, boy?" Rex wagged his tail, letting her know he was always ready. Hours passed peacefully. Mia and Rex checked neighborhoods, helped lost children find their parents, and ensured that traffic moved safely. The people in the city had come to recognize them as a team. Whenever children saw Rex, they ran up to pet him, and he would nuzzle them gently. But Mia always kept one eye on him, making sure he stayed calm and focused. For her, Rex was more than a dog. He was her family, her partner, and her protector. As the afternoon sun grew warmer, Mia received a report about a man acting suspiciously near a local market. She and Rex quickly moved toward the scene. The man was trying to avoid attention, and Mia knew that she had to act carefully. She approached him, calling out, "Sir, please stop. I need to ask you some questions." Rex stayed close, his eyes locked on the man, muscles tense, ready to react if needed. The man hesitated, but before Mia could continue, he bolted into the street. Mia immediately followed, running as fast as she could. Rex was right by her side, dodging pedestrians and obstacles. The sound of tires on asphalt reached her ears, but she focused only on the man. Suddenly, the man darted in front of a car. Mia shouted, "Stop!" But it was too late. The car screeched, tires skidding, but the driver could not stop in time. Mia felt a sharp impact. Pain exploded through her body. She tried to stay conscious, tried to protect herself, but everything around her blurred. Rex barked loudly, jumping toward her, but a bystander held him back, understanding that Mia needed immediate help. When Mia opened her eyes, she was in a hospital room. Machines beeped rhythmically, marking every breath she took. The air smelled of antiseptic, cold but clean. Her body was weak and pain radiated through every limb. Doctors and nurses moved quickly around her, checking her condition, speaking to each other in low, urgent tones. Mia's mind was foggy, but one thought refused to leave her. Rex. She tried to speak, her lips trembling. "Rex? Is he okay?" The nurse beside her smiled gently, understanding immediately. "He's safe, Mia, don't worry. He's waiting for you." Mia's eyes filled with tears. Even in this hospital room, surrounded by machines and strangers, her heart was focused on Rex. She felt a wave of guilt for worrying about him instead of herself, but she couldn't help it. He was her family, and she needed to see him. Hours passed slowly. Mia's injuries were serious, but the doctors assured her that she had survived. Her arm was in a cast, her leg heavily bandaged, and she had several bruises and scratches across her body. Every movement caused sharp pain, yet the thought of Rex gave her strength. She imagined his brown eyes, his strong body, and the way he always seemed to know her feelings. The nurses noticed her focus on the dog and promised to help her see him. Meanwhile, Rex was at the police station. He had sensed that something terrible had happened when Mia did not return as usual. He paced back and forth, whining softly, ears lowered, eyes searching every corner. Officers tried to calm him, offering treats and attention, but Rex only had eyes for Mia. He could not understand why she was not there. When one officer finally explained that Mia had been injured and was in the hospital, Rex's tail dropped and he let out a low, sad whine. It was as if he understood the seriousness of the situation. The hospital was busy, but Mia's nurses arranged for Rex to be brought in. The thought of seeing him made her heart pound, giving her a feeling she could not describe. She whispered to herself, "Please, Rex, be okay. I need you now." She closed her eyes, imagining his warm presence, hoping it could reach her even before he arrived. Mia's mind wandered to their past adventures together. She remembered the first day she met Rex at the animal shelter. He had been a small, nervous puppy, hiding in the corner, unsure of the world. Mia had knelt beside him, offering her hand. "It's okay," she had whispered. "You're safe with me." From that moment, a bond had formed. Rex had grown strong and brave, but his loyalty had never wavered. He had been by her side through every patrol, every chase, and every long night. And now she needed him more than ever. The hospital door finally opened, and Mia heard footsteps approaching. Her heart raced. She tried to sit up, but pain shot through her body. She looked up and saw a familiar shape enter the room. Rex's ears perked up and his tail stiffened. When he saw Mia, his eyes widened and he ran toward her, gently held back by the officer accompanying him. Mia whispered, "Rex, it's okay. It's really me." The room seemed to change. Machines and sterile walls faded into the background. Mia's heart felt lighter just seeing him. Rex nuzzled her hand, his warm nose pressing against her skin, and she felt a calm she hadn't known since the accident. For the first time since the accident, she smiled, tears streaming down her face. The nurses watched silently, understanding the depth of their bond. This was more than a dog and a handler. It was love, loyalty, and friendship. The hours that followed were quiet but filled with emotion. Mia stroked Rex's fur, feeling the steady rhythm of his breathing. She whispered stories of their adventures, her fears, and her hopes. Rex listened, resting his head on her lap, as if absorbing every word. For Mia, this moment was a turning point. No medicine could heal her faster than the presence of her loyal friend. Even the doctors were surprised. They had seen recoveries before, but none like this. Mia's breathing became steadier and her vitals improved. It was as if Rex's presence gave her body the strength to fight through the pain. The nurse noted, "It's amazing what love can do for healing." Mia nodded, unable to speak fully, but her eyes conveyed everything. She felt gratitude, relief, and hope. As the night approached, Mia and Rex remained together. The city outside continued its busy life, but within the hospital room, time felt slower. Mia held Rex's paw, feeling the warmth of his fur, and realized something important. Life could be unpredictable and dangerous, but love and loyalty were constants. With Rex by her side, she believed she could face anything. This accident had changed her life, but it had also reminded her of the bond that mattered most. She whispered softly, "Thank you, Rex, for never leaving me." Rex leaned closer, his eyes gentle and steady, answering without words. Mia knew that no matter what challenges lay ahead, she would never face them alone. Rex was more than a partner. He was her family, and together they would overcome everything. Mia Roberts lay in her hospital bed, her body aching from the injuries she had suffered in the accident. Her arm was heavy in a cast and her leg throbbed with every movement. Despite the pain, her mind was focused on one thing: Rex. The thought of seeing him again filled her with hope, giving her the strength to endure every test, every check, and every moment of discomfort. She knew that Rex's presence could make her feel whole again, as if his very spirit could heal the wounds her body had received. Mia's lips moved slightly as she whispered, "Please, I need Rex here." Her voice was weak, but it carried the urgency of her heart. The nurse at her side looked into Mia's eyes and saw the determination that would not be denied. "We will bring him, Mia," the nurse said softly. "You just have to be patient for a little while longer." Mia closed her eyes and nodded, feeling a mixture of relief and anticipation. Meanwhile, at the police station, Rex paced back and forth in his kennel. He had sensed that something was wrong the moment Mia did not return. His ears were alert, his eyes searching for any sign of her. Officers tried to calm him with gentle words and soft pats, but Rex's attention remained fixed on the door. He could not understand why Mia was not there with him, why she was not calling his name. Every sound of footsteps made him tense. Every car passing outside made him restless. He knew deep in his heart that she needed him, and he would do anything to be by her side. When one of the officers explained that Mia had been injured and was now in the hospital, Rex tilted his head, his ears flicking. He let out a low, sorrowful whine, a sound that seemed to carry all the worry he felt. The officer rubbed Rex's head gently. "She's okay, Rex. You'll see her soon. Don't worry." But Rex did not need words. He understood the seriousness of the situation. His bond with Mia was more than obedience. It was loyalty, love, and trust. Back in the hospital, Mia's plea for Rex grew stronger. She tried to sit up, her arm straining against the cast, and she called out, "Please, bring him. I need him now." Her voice was soft but urgent, and the nurse holding her hand could feel the deep emotion behind it. The ICU was not usually a place for pets, but seeing Mia's state, the staff knew they had to help. They coordinated with the police to bring Rex safely to the hospital. When the officer arrived at the hospital with Rex, Mia's heart leaped. She had imagined this moment countless times in the hours she had been awake, but seeing him in real life was even more powerful. Rex's fur was soft, his eyes bright, and he looked as if he had been waiting his entire life for this reunion. The officer guided Rex carefully into the ICU, ensuring he remained calm and composed. Mia reached out her hand, tears welling up in her eyes. "Rex, it's okay," she whispered. "I'm here now. You're safe." Rex approached cautiously at first, his paws moving slowly, ears alert. But as soon as he saw Mia fully, he knew. He nudged her hand gently with his nose and rested his head on her lap. The warmth of his body, the soft weight of his head, and the sound of his breathing seemed to melt away the fear and pain that had haunted Mia since the accident. She smiled through her tears, feeling a peace that medicine alone could never provide. The doctors and nurses in the ICU watched in astonishment. Mia's vitals, which had been unstable, began to improve. Her breathing steadied, her pulse grew stronger, and a calm settled over her that had been absent since her arrival. One doctor whispered to another, "I've never seen a recovery like this. It's as if his presence is giving her strength beyond what we can explain." The nurses nodded quietly, understanding that this was a special moment, one that went beyond ordinary care. Mia held Rex's paw gently, feeling the rough pads against her skin, and whispered, "I'm so glad you're here. I thought I lost you." Rex responded with a soft lick on her hand as if to say, "I will always be here. Mia, I will never leave you." That simple exchange of love and trust carried more meaning than any words could express. In that moment, Mia felt a surge of energy she had not known she could feel. She could endure the pain, face the challenges, and continue her recovery, all because Rex was by her side. The hours passed quietly, filled with small gestures of comfort and reassurance. Mia talked to Rex, telling him stories of their past adventures, recalling moments when he had saved the day or made her laugh after a difficult call. Rex listened, his eyes attentive, his head resting on her lap. It was as if he understood every word, every emotion, and every unspoken thought. His presence was a reminder that she was never alone, that love and loyalty could overcome even the darkest moments. Mia's mind wandered to the first day she had met Rex. He had been a small, timid puppy, hiding in the corner of the shelter. Other dogs had barked and played, but he had remained quiet, uncertain of the world. Mia had knelt beside him, offering her hand in a gentle voice. "It's okay," she had said softly. "You're safe with me." From that moment, a bond had formed that grew stronger with every day. Rex had learned to trust her completely, and she had learned to trust him with her life. That bond, now tested by fear and pain, proved stronger than ever. As the evening approached, the hospital room felt less like a place of injury and more like a sanctuary of love and healing. Mia's body ached, but her spirit felt lighter. She stroked Rex's fur, feeling the warmth and strength radiating from him. "Thank you for never leaving me," she whispered. Rex leaned closer as if to answer, "I will always be here, no matter what." The simplicity of their connection, free from words and formalities, spoke volumes about trust, loyalty, and the unspoken power of companionship. Outside the ICU, other patients and staff observed the reunion. Some smiled, moved by the pure emotion in the room. It was rare to witness such a bond, one that could heal more effectively than medicine alone. Mia's story, even at that moment, was becoming one of hope and inspiration. People began to understand that healing was not just physical. Emotional strength, love, and trust could bring light even in the darkest hours. The night grew darker and the city outside continued its busy life, but inside the hospital room time seemed to slow. Mia and Rex remained close, connected in ways that words could not describe. She whispered softly about her fears, her hopes, and her dreams for the future. Rex listened, always attentive, always steady, offering comfort without judgment. The bond between them created a sense of safety and security that no other force could provide. By the time Mia finally drifted into a light sleep, her hand resting on Rex's head, she felt a calm she had not known since the accident. For the first time, she believed she could fully recover. She realized that life could be unpredictable and filled with challenges, but love and loyalty were constants that could guide her through anything. Rex was not just a partner in her work. He was her family, her support, and her source of hope. In the quiet of the ICU, the bond between Mia and Rex grew even stronger. It was a moment that the doctors and nurses would remember for the rest of their careers. It was a reminder that healing could take many forms, and sometimes the greatest medicine was the presence of someone who loved you unconditionally. Mia had found that medicine in Rex, and in turn, he had shown the power of loyalty, courage, and love. The hospital room was quiet, but the atmosphere was filled with tension and hope. Officer Mia Roberts lay in her bed, her body still weak and tender from the accident. The casts on her arm and leg weighed heavily, and every small movement caused sharp pain. Yet, despite the discomfort, her mind was calm in a way it had not been since the accident. The reason for her calm was simple: Rex. The thought of her loyal dog being nearby gave her courage and a strange sense of strength. She could feel him even before he entered the room, as if he had sensed her need from miles away. The nurses adjusted Mia's pillows and made sure she was comfortable. One nurse whispered to her colleague, "He's on his way. She'll see him soon." Mia's eyes lit up at the sound of that promise. She tried to sit up slightly, struggling against the pain, and whispered, "Rex, I can't wait to see you." Her voice was soft but filled with emotion. Every nurse and doctor in the room could see how much she needed him. This was more than a reunion. It was a lifeline. Meanwhile, Rex was outside the ICU, guided by a police officer who had brought him from the station. Rex's steps were careful but determined. He could sense Mia's presence through his instincts, and his body was tense with excitement and worry. The officer spoke softly to him. "Easy, Rex. She's waiting for you." Rex did not need words. He understood. His eyes focused on the door ahead, his ears alert and his tail moving slowly but steadily. He knew that his Mia was in need, and he would give her all his strength and comfort. As the door opened, Rex paused for a moment. His eyes locked onto Mia, and recognition flashed across his face. Without hesitation, he moved forward, his paws carefully avoiding the machines and cords that filled the room. Mia's eyes filled with tears as she whispered, "Rex, it's really you. You're here." She tried to stretch her arms toward him, but the pain made it difficult. Rex approached slowly, placing his head gently on her lap. The warmth of his body against hers brought a sense of calm she had not felt in days. The nurses and doctors in the room watched in awe. They had seen many patients in critical condition, but few had reacted like Mia. Her breathing, which had been shallow and irregular, began to steady. Her pulse, which had been weak, grew stronger. It was as if the very presence of Rex was giving her body the energy it needed to heal. One doctor whispered to another, "It's incredible. I've never seen such a response to a visitor." The nurse nodded, adding, "It's more than a visitor. It's her companion, her family. The effect is real." Mia gently stroked Rex's fur, feeling the softness and warmth. "I thought I lost you," she said, her voice trembling. Rex responded by nuzzling her hand, a silent gesture of reassurance. In that moment, words were unnecessary. Their bond spoke louder than any sentence could. It was a connection built on years of trust, loyalty, and love. Mia felt her heart lighten as she realized that she was not alone. With Rex by her side, she could face the pain, the recovery, and whatever challenges lay ahead. The officers who had helped bring Rex were careful to keep a respectful distance, understanding the depth of the moment. They whispered quietly to each other, amazed at how a dog could have such an effect on a human's recovery. "I've never seen anything like this," one officer said. "She looks stronger, calmer. It's like he's giving her life back." The other officer nodded, agreeing silently. Everyone in the room felt the emotional weight of the reunion. Mia continued to talk to Rex, recounting stories from their time on patrol. She told him about the mornings they spent training, the days when the streets were calm and peaceful, and the nights when they had faced challenges together. Rex listened attentively, his eyes never leaving hers. He rested his head on her lap, occasionally nudging her hand with his nose, reminding her that he was there, fully present, fully devoted. The bond between them created a healing energy that seemed to fill the room. As the night wore on, Mia's condition continued to improve. Her breathing became more regular, Her body relaxed, and even the nurses noticed that her color returned to her cheeks. It was as if the simple act of having Rex beside her was transforming her recovery. The doctors were astonished. One whispered, "It's almost like her body recognizes him as a part of her own strength." Another replied, "It's the power of companionship. Sometimes love is the best medicine." Mia's thoughts drifted to the first time she had seen Rex. He had been a small, timid puppy at the shelter, scared of the world and unsure of anyone's intentions. She had knelt beside him, offering her hand in a gentle voice. "It's okay," she had said softly. "You're safe with me." From that moment, their lives had intertwined. Rex had grown strong and courageous, always alert and ready to protect her, but his love and loyalty had never wavered. Now, in her most vulnerable moment, he was proving once again that he would never leave her side. Rex's presence also affected other patients and staff in the ICU. They noticed Mia's transformation and felt inspired by the bond between her and her dog. Some smiled quietly, touched by the simple yet powerful display of loyalty. Others whispered to each other about the importance of emotional connections in healing. Mia and Rex were demonstrating something that went beyond medical treatment, an unspoken truth that love and trust could heal wounds that medicine sometimes could not. Hours passed, but Mia never wanted to let go of Rex. She rested her hand on his head, feeling the warmth and strength of his body. She whispered stories, hopes, and dreams, and Rex listened attentively, offering comfort with every gentle nudge and soft sigh. The room, once filled with tension and worry, now carried an air of peace and calm. Mia's recovery, both physical and emotional, was visibly stronger with Rex by her side. Even the doctors and nurses who had witnessed the accident and treated Mia were amazed by the transformation. They realized that while medicine and care were important, the bond between Mia and Rex was extraordinary. It was a reminder that humans and animals could share connections that went far beyond words or instructions. Mia's health was improving, but more importantly, her spirit was lifting. She felt hope and courage that she had not known she could feel in the days following the accident. Mia gently held Rex's paw in her hand, tears streaming down her face. "Thank you for being here," she whispered. "I don't know what I would have done without you." Rex leaned closer, his eyes soft and steady as if replying, "I will always be here. Mia, no matter what happens, I am yours." It was a silent promise that transcended any words. Their bond, tested by danger and fear, was now stronger than ever. As the night continued, Mia drifted into a light, peaceful sleep with Rex at her side. The warmth of his body, the steady rhythm of his breathing, and the unspoken comfort of his presence allowed her to rest without worry. For the first time since the accident, she felt safe, truly safe in a way that no hospital bed or medicine could provide. Rex had returned her strength, her hope, and her courage. The ICU, once a place of tension and urgency, now carried the quiet energy of love and companionship. Mia and Rex's bond had created a ripple effect, inspiring everyone who witnessed it. The doctors and nurses recognized that healing was not just physical. Emotional connections, loyalty, and trust could transform lives in ways that medicine alone could not. Mia's story was becoming one of hope, courage, and the extraordinary power of love. Mia held Rex close, knowing that their journey together was far from over. She understood that life could be unpredictable, that danger and accidents could come without warning. But she also understood that love, loyalty, and trust were constants that could guide her through anything. With Rex by her side, she could face the future with confidence. The days passed slowly, but for Officer Mia Roberts, each day brought hope and progress. With Rex by her side, every moment felt lighter. The hospital room, once filled with the tense hum of machines and the busy footsteps of nurses, had transformed into a place of comfort and warmth. Mia's injuries were serious, but she was beginning to regain strength. Her arm, still in a cast, allowed only limited movement, and her leg, heavily bandaged, required careful attention. Despite the challenges, Mia faced each day with courage, bolstered by the unwavering presence of Rex. Every morning, Mia would wake to find Rex lying patiently beside her bed, his eyes bright and attentive. He never moved without her permission, and he never left her side for more than a moment. Nurses and doctors noticed how his presence seemed to accelerate her recovery. Even small gestures like Rex resting his head on her lap or nudging her hand gently seemed to ease her pain and lift her spirits. Mia often whispered softly to him, telling him how much she appreciated him. "Thank you for being here, Rex," she would say, her fingers tracing the fur on his head. "You make everything better." Rex responded with a soft lick or a gentle nuzzle, as if confirming that he would always be there. Mia's recovery was not just physical. Her heart and mind were also healing. The accident had shaken her deeply, leaving her with fears and uncertainties. But with Rex close, those fears seemed smaller. She could talk to him about her worries, her frustrations, and her hopes. Sometimes she would recount her experiences from patrol, sharing the little moments of courage and kindness that she had witnessed. Rex listened, never interrupting, always present. In those quiet hours, Mia realized that healing was more than mending bones and muscles. It was also finding peace within herself. The doctors were amazed by Mia's progress. They had seen patients recover from serious injuries before, but few had demonstrated the emotional strength that Mia displayed with Rex by her side. Her vitals were improving faster than expected, and her spirits remained high despite the pain and discomfort. One nurse commented to another, "It's incredible how much a pet can influence recovery. Look at her, she's smiling and talking more. It's like he brings her life back." The other nurse nodded, smiling softly. "Love is a powerful medicine," she said, "and their bond is extraordinary." Mia spent hours each day speaking with Rex. She told him stories from their past, sharing memories of training sessions, patrol adventures, and quiet evenings after long days. She laughed as she recalled Rex's playful antics, and she sighed as she spoke about the challenges they had faced together. Rex listened with unwavering attention, resting his head on her lap or leaning against her bed. He offered comfort in the simplest ways, through his presence, his gentle touches, and the steady rhythm of his breathing. During the afternoons, Mia would attempt small exercises recommended by her physical therapist. Rex would stay close, sometimes lying on the floor beside her or gently placing his paw on her hand. His presence encouraged her to try harder, to move with more confidence, and to push through the discomfort. Mia realized that having Rex nearby was not just comforting emotionally. It gave her the determination to work toward full recovery. She could feel his encouragement without words, a silent motivation that inspired her every step of the way. Visitors came occasionally, curious about the bond between Mia and Rex. Some were fellow officers, others were hospital staff, and a few were strangers who had heard about the remarkable duo. Everyone was moved by the connection they shared. People commented on Mia's calm and strength, and they marveled at Rex's gentle loyalty. "It's amazing," one visitor said. "He knows exactly what she needs without anyone telling him." Mia smiled softly, patting Rex's head. "He's always known," she said simply. "We understand each other." Evenings were the most peaceful. As the sun set and the city outside slowed, Mia and Rex remained together. Mia would rest on her bed, and Rex would lie beside her, sometimes resting his head on her lap. The quiet moments allowed her to reflect on the accident, her recovery, and the future. She thought about the challenges she had faced and realized how much she had learned about resilience, patience, and the power of companionship. With Rex by her side, she felt capable of facing anything. One evening, Mia held Rex's paw and whispered, "I don't know what I would have done without you. You've given me strength when I felt weak, hope when I felt afraid, and love when I felt alone." Rex looked at her with steady, understanding eyes, his tail moving slowly in response. It was a silent acknowledgement of the bond they shared. In that moment, Mia understood something profound. Healing was not just about medical treatment. It was about connection, loyalty, and love. Rex had given her all three, and in return, she promised to always be there for him. As days turned into weeks, Mia's strength continued to improve. She could sit up for longer periods, move more easily with assistance, and even participate in light physical therapy exercises. Each small milestone was a victory, and Rex celebrated each one in his own way. He would wag his tail, nuzzle her hand, or rest his head on her lap as if to say, "You're doing great. Mia, I'm proud of you." Mia felt encouraged by these gestures and found herself smiling more, laughing more, and feeling more alive. With every passing day, the hospital staff continued to marvel at the bond between Mia and Rex. They observed how his presence not only improved her physical recovery but also uplifted her emotional well-being. Other patients began to notice as well, finding inspiration in the quiet strength of the duo. Mia and Rex had become a symbol of hope, showing that love, trust, and loyalty could create remarkable change in the face of adversity. Mia also began to reflect on her own role as a police officer. She realized that courage was not just about facing danger in the streets, but also about facing challenges with resilience and hope. The accident had been frightening, but it had also reminded her of the importance of connections and relationships. Rex had been there through every patrol, every challenge, and now every moment of recovery. She felt grateful for his unwavering loyalty and the lessons he had taught her about patience, trust, and unconditional love. During one particularly quiet afternoon, Mia rested her head against the pillow and held Rex close. She whispered softly, "You've saved me in more ways than I can count. You're more than my partner. You're my family." Rex leaned against her, his warmth and presence filling her with comfort and reassurance. For Mia, these moments were the most important. The pain of the accident had not disappeared entirely, but it had become easier to bear because she no longer faced it alone. Even the doctors acknowledged the unique impact Rex had on Mia. One physician said, "We can treat her injuries medically, but what Rex provides emotionally is something we cannot replicate. His presence is making a measurable difference." Another nurse nodded, adding, "It's rare to witness a bond like this. It's inspiring to see how much love and loyalty can contribute to healing." Mia listened to these observations quietly, feeling grateful that others recognized the special connection she shared with Rex. Mia's journey of healing continued, marked by small victories, emotional growth, and the steady support of her loyal companion. Each day she felt stronger, more confident, and more hopeful. She understood that recovery was not just about mending the body, but also nurturing the spirit. Rex had shown her that true strength came from love, trust, and the unspoken support of someone who cared deeply for her. As the sun set each evening, casting a warm glow over the hospital room, Mia and Rex would sit together in quiet reflection. She would stroke his fur, whispering stories, hopes, and dreams while he listened attentively, offering comfort in every gesture. Their bond had deepened through the trials they had faced, and Mia knew that no matter what challenges lay ahead, they would face them together. The healing process was far from over, but with Rex by her side, Mia felt unstoppable. She had faced pain, fear, and uncertainty, yet she remained resilient. She had learned that love, loyalty, and companionship were powerful forces that could transform even the most difficult situations. And in that hospital room, surrounded by the quiet hum of machines and the soft footsteps of nurses, Mia and Rex found strength, peace, and hope for the future. Weeks had passed since the accident, and Officer Mia Roberts had made remarkable progress. Her injuries were healing well, and the medical team had been amazed at her steady recovery. The pain that had once dominated every movement had begun to fade, replaced by a cautious strength. Mia could now sit up in bed comfortably, walk short distances with assistance, and participate fully in her physical therapy sessions. But the most important part of her recovery was not just physical, it was emotional. Through every step, Rex had been by her side, offering comfort, encouragement, and unwavering love. The day of her discharge finally arrived. Mia had mixed feelings. She was excited to leave the hospital and return to her life, yet she knew she would miss the constant care of the nurses and doctors who had been so kind. Most of all, she was eager to spend every day with Rex outside the hospital walls. The two of them had shared so many quiet moments, stories, and gentle gestures that had helped her heal in ways she could not fully explain. Rex had been her strength, her companion, and her friend. As the nurses prepared her discharge papers, Mia looked at Rex and smiled. He was sitting patiently at her side, his eyes bright and attentive. She gently stroked his head and whispered, "We made it, Rex, we're going home." Rex nudged her hand with his nose, a small but reassuring gesture. It was a moment of triumph, quiet yet deeply meaningful. Mia felt a wave of gratitude for the loyalty and love Rex had shown her through the hardest days of her life. The hospital staff gathered to see her off. Many had been touched by the extraordinary bond between Mia and Rex, witnessing firsthand how a loyal companion could influence healing. "You two are amazing," one nurse said softly. "It has been a privilege to watch your recovery together." Mia nodded, smiling warmly. "I couldn't have done it without him," she replied. "Rex has been my anchor, my strength, and my hope." The staff smiled, understanding that the connection between a person and a loyal pet could create miracles. Outside the hospital, the sun shone brightly, casting warm light across the city streets. Mia and Rex walked slowly, taking in the fresh air, the sounds of life, and the freedom of being outside together. Every step was a victory, a symbol of resilience and courage. Rex stayed close to her side, his paws moving steadily, his eyes alert. Mia felt a sense of normalcy returning, a sense of balance that she had missed since the accident. With Rex by her side, she could face the world again. As they walked, Mia reflected on how much she had learned during her recovery. She realized that life could be unpredictable, that danger and accidents could happen at any moment. But she also understood that strength, hope, and courage could be found in the most unexpected places. For her, that place was the presence of a loyal companion. Rex had shown her that no matter the challenges, love and loyalty could guide her through anything. She felt grateful not only for her own recovery, but also for the lessons that Rex had taught her. Back at her home, Mia settled into a routine that included both rest and gentle activity. She spent time in her garden, watched the city from her window, and continued her physical therapy exercises with Rex close at hand. His presence made every task easier, every challenge lighter. When she worked on walking or stretching, Rex would stand nearby offering silent encouragement. His steady gaze and gentle demeanor reminded her to keep going, to believe in herself, and to trust in their bond. Mia also reconnected with her fellow officers and the community she served. They had heard about her accident and recovery, and many expressed concern and support. Mia shared her gratitude for their care, but always emphasized that Rex had been her greatest source of strength. "I had help from my colleagues, and the doctors and nurses were amazing," she said. "But Rex, he's the reason I feel whole again. He never left my side, and he gave me courage when I had none." People listened, inspired by the story of loyalty, trust, and love. One afternoon, Mia and Rex returned to the police station for a visit. Colleagues greeted them warmly, happy to see her healthy and smiling again. Rex wagged his tail, moving between officers as they patted him and praised him for his loyalty. Mia laughed softly, the sound light and free after weeks of worry and pain. She realized how much she had missed these familiar faces and how comforting it was to feel part of her team again. Rex stayed close to her, attentive and calm, as if reminding her that their bond was more important than anything else. Mia's return to work was gradual. She started with desk duties, reviewing reports and helping with planning, while slowly preparing to return to field patrols. Rex was always with her, either resting quietly beside her or accompanying her during light patrol walks. Their presence together inspired everyone around them. Fellow officers admired the courage Mia had shown and were amazed at the role Rex had played in her recovery. He was no longer just a police dog. He was a symbol of hope, loyalty, and the extraordinary bond between humans and animals. Even outside of work, Mia's life had changed for the better. She appreciated the small moments, sunsets, the feel of fresh air, and the quiet companionship of Rex. She spent more time reflecting on gratitude, kindness, and patience, understanding that healing was not just about returning to normal, but about embracing life fully. Rex had been a teacher in ways she had not expected, showing her that love, loyalty, and support could overcome even the greatest difficulties. One quiet evening, Mia sat on the porch with Rex lying at her feet. She held his paw gently and whispered, "We've been through so much together, Rex. I don't think I could have faced any of it without you. You've been my strength, my courage, and my heart." Rex rested his head on her lap, eyes calm and steady as if replying, "And I will always be here. We face life together no matter what." It was a promise neither needed to speak aloud, a bond that had grown stronger through every challenge. The city continued its busy life, but Mia and Rex had found their own quiet rhythm. They walked together, trained together, and spent time in peaceful companionship. Mia returned to her duties as a police officer with renewed courage, knowing that she was not alone. Rex remained her loyal partner, her family, and her closest friend. Their story spread quietly among the community, inspiring people to value loyalty, love, and the bonds that make life meaningful. Mia's recovery, though long and challenging, had become a testament to resilience, hope, and the extraordinary power of companionship. She understood that accidents and hardships could not always be prevented, But the support of a loyal friend could make even the darkest times bearable. Rex had proven that love was more than emotion. It was a force that could heal, strengthen, and inspire. As the days turned into months, Mia fully regained her strength. She returned to full patrol duty with Rex by her side, ready to face whatever challenges the city presented. Together, they were more than a team. They were a symbol of courage, loyalty, and hope. People who heard their story were inspired to appreciate the bonds in their own lives, understanding that true companionship could transform even the most difficult situations. In the quiet moments, Mia often reflected on the accident, the ICU, and the days of her slow recovery. She realized that the experience had changed her, teaching her patience, gratitude, and the true value of love and loyalty. Rex had been her guide, her protector, and her friend. Together they had faced fear, uncertainty, and pain, emerging stronger, closer, and more determined than ever. Mia's story, and Rex's role in it, became an inspiration not only for the community but for everyone who heard it. It was a reminder that recovery was more than medical treatment. It was about connection, trust, and the power of unconditional love. Mia and Rex had shown that courage and healing could come from unexpected places, and that a loyal companion could transform life in ways no medicine alone could achieve. As the sun set on another day, Mia and Rex walked side by side through the quiet streets, their bond unbroken, their hearts full. They had faced the darkest moments and emerged stronger together. Mia knew that no matter what the future held, she and Rex would face it as a team, ready for whatever challenges life might bring. Together they had found hope, healing, and a new beginning, one filled with love, trust, and the extraordinary power of loyalty.